Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome to a new weekly analysis of what happened throughout this week from Monday to Friday, so from June 10th to June 14th. Basically, in simple words, it wasn't the best week for me. I don't want to do any spoilers, but basically in this video, I showed live every single trade, and basically every single analysis before I took any trades, throughout the trades, and after the trades. So yeah, it's basically a good analysis and all my interpretations in the market throughout this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's get right into it. Hey guys, welcome to New Day in the Markets. Today is June 10th. It's the beginning of a new week and I'm currently watching AU. I already placed this order here, so it's a buy limit. I'm waiting to see if it gets activated. To be honest, I don't think it's going to be activated. I really think that price is going to keep going up. Because, so I'll show you, my ideal entry happened at 5:45 a.m. New York time. So we can see that price took liquidity from all these lows here, right? So from this low here, from Wednesday's low, from Thursday's low, from this low here, as well as from Friday's low, which was basically here. So on Sunday, this was Friday's low around this area. Sunday took Friday's low. It didn't close with body, but it wicked, taking liquidity, and then it broke structure to the upside multiple times. Then we can see that price, when it was going up, it left a lot of liquidity. And then price at 5:45 gave my full discount to the 60% to this area, where I would have placed my entry point here with my stop loss around this area, targeting around a 1 to 2, a little bit more. So that was my ideal entry, but this entry respecting the 60% will be like a continuation of my bias, which basically we can see that price took liquidity from all this liquidity here, took liquidity from this low as well, then it broke structure, right? Broke structure. There's also liquidity previous to my entry point in here. There's also a demand zone here. So if price is able to reverse, I'll get in here, following my direction, targeting this high a little bit higher for a 1 to 2. So yeah, let's see if it gets activated. To be honest, I don't think so. I really don't think it's gonna get activated. So yeah, that will be basically my idea. And if it doesn't, I'll see what happens when price is able to break the structure to the upside. But yeah, it's very likely that if price doesn't reverse, it's gonna be a no trading day for me, just because like my trade idea already happened. But yeah, I'm still waiting and let's see what happens. Okay guys, so price broke structure to the upside. So now I'm not looking for this trade here, so my trade got invalidated now. But yeah, it was a very nice idea. It's just that price didn't reverse to my entry. So that's basically it for this trade idea. Okay guys, so it's currently 9:27 a.m. New York time, and this is how price is going. Like I told you guys, I wasn't taking this setup based on the fact that I just didn't like it, and my trade, like my initial trade idea already happened when price basically reached the 60% and then it broke structure to the upside. And we can see that price closed above, like price didn't close above this high here, which I don't know, it doesn't just, like it can work, it's still valid, like this trade idea is completely valid still, but it's not that high quality in my opinion. So I'm just not risking my capital in this trade unless there is like kind of like a clear break of structure to the upside or a clear confirmation that indicates that buyers are positioned pretty well. But yeah, basically that's this trade. That is how price is doing right now. It can work based on the fact that there was previous liquidity to my entry point in this area. This was previous liquidity, and also because there's like liquidity above here, because I usually don't like how price closes this way. And price did the whole discount, respecting a bullish trend, understanding that we've been very bearish throughout this last days. Well, no, this last day, basically on Friday. So yeah, That's basically what I'm looking at right now. But yeah, anything can happen here. Also, the reason why I could like this to look for buying opportunity is because price clearly respected this area here, and then it took liquidity from all this liquidity here and all these lows here, and then it broke structure to the upside, and we can see that in the 15-minute price closed with body. But like I said, still it's not the most high quality setup, so that's why I'm staying away for now from this trade. Okay guys, so it's currently 10 a.m. New York time, well 10:10, and I'm basically looking right now for this nice idea, but I would like for price maybe to go a little bit higher for me to consider some selling opportunities, understanding this as liquidity, considering that price recently respected basically from this area here, so from this whole area, right? It's also located in a fair value gap here, just this one, right? And we recently took liquidity from all these highs here, right? Understanding that price was constantly going like this, we took liquidity from here and we broke structure to the downside. And we are right now situated in a fair value gap right here. So it will be nice to see if maybe price is able to get here and maybe reject to the downside, understanding that we basically have been going up through since Sunday, right? And there's some gaps here as well, and I could consider this as liquidity. But yeah, price already reached the 60%, so price can left us. And honestly, because it's a little bit late, I'm still watching to see if I will consider the trade or not. For now, I'm not taking any trades for today, but this is the idea that I would like maybe to see if price is able to reach this zone and look for some sales. But for now, I'm just still waiting, and we can see that price is respecting very nicely the discount of the 60%, and we can start seeing some movement to the downside. So that's basically all for now, and I'll update you guys later. Hey guys, so it's currently 12 p.m. New York time, and it was a no trading day for me. So basically, as I told you guys, initially I was looking for a buying opportunity in this area, but then price kind of invalidated my zone, and it wasn't the most clear trade, and I was just waiting for something better, and it didn't happen. So that's why I didn't took any buying opportunities. And then I actually liked the opportunity maybe for price to give me a confirmation to take some sales, but there was no confirmations for me, so I took no trades in either of both directions, so or buying or selling. So it was basically a no trading day for me. So yeah, that was all for today's trading session. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Tuesday, to see if we can make some profit. Hey guys, welcome to New Day in the Markets. Today is June 11th, Tuesday, and watching AU. So I had this trade idea in this area. I already placed my buy limit, right? I don't know if it's gonna get activated or not, but it's an interesting idea based on the fact that price. So I'm bullish because we can see the whole gap here. And if we go, for example, to the 4-hour, we can see that price is still located in a discounted zone. I expect for price to reach at least the 50% of this last range. So, understanding that price reached the 60% of this range, so we can see here, right? So price reached the 60%, and after basically reaching the 60%, we can see how price took liquidity from London's low. So this was London's low, this area, this was London's low, right? As well as taking this low here, right? So it took liquidity and then it broke structure to the upside in this area. So now I placed my entry point here, which is basically around a 50%, that if we go to this part here, so in the 5 minutes, we can see that there's a nice demand zone that hasn't been tapped or still not mitigated. So I would like to see if price is able to reverse. There's also a demand zone here, but I would like to consider this low as liquidity for price to take this low and then continue to the upside. Today I'm targeting 1 to 2 because I just need a 1 to 2 to pass phase 1 on the 25k account and the 10k account. So that's basically my target for today. I could target more, for example, target Monday's, so yesterday's high here. But yeah, honestly, I don't even know if it's gonna get tapped. If you guys ask me, I really think it will not get tapped because it's already too high. But yeah, the trade idea is valid. It's interesting. So let's see if price actually give us our expected reversal, our expected discount, and we can be in a trade for today. Okay guys, so it's currently 9:24 a.m. New York time, and this is the order I have placed. So I changed it a little bit because we can see that the breakout structure was bigger, so I had to move my stop loss and my entry level a little bit higher. But yeah, we can see that now the breakout structure happened in the 15 minutes. So now I'm considering a discount in the 15 minutes. You know how I do it. So my entry based on the 15 minutes. So usually when I entered in the 15 minutes, the trade is just longer. That's just the difference. But my target and my idea is the same. I'm basically targeting Monday's high, which is this one. So basically yesterday's high. And yeah, that will be my entry point here. There's also chances for price to reject around this area, which is basically on the 50%, where there is a fair value gap. But based on my rules, I have to enter in the 60%. So yeah, let's see if my trade gets activated or not. But as you guys can see, this is my stop loss level, entry point, take profit. If price is able to reach this high and break this high here, I move my stop loss to break even and just wait for price to reach my final TP. So yeah, I really like this trade because we can see basically price is kind of like there's no clear breakout structure to the downside, so price might be just respecting the whole trend. So we can see this was the last clear low, so low, high, so price might create a higher low in here, right? And then create a new higher high, continuing with the bullish trend. So yeah, that will be basically it for this trade, and let's see if it gets activated and if it is actually a winning trade or a losing trade. Okay guys, so our trade has been activated. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay guys, so we can see that there is a huge rejection from the first point we had. So from this demand zone after taking liquidity from this low here. So let's see if that momentum to the upside keeps going, or like if price just continues going down. This is actually a very interesting point based on the fact that it's the first demand zone, or the first nice zone that made the whole breakout structure. So from this point here, so from this momentum is where the whole bullish momentum started, and it had a nice liquidity previous to the point, which is also very nice because you guys can consider there were like individuals buying in this point here, so they just got stopped out in this area before price can take off. Usually when that is like a clear sign in the market, that's very nice to see, because usually price needs to take liquidity before going to the right direction. So yeah, let's see what happens. But at the moment it looks nice based on this nice rejection, but there's still a long way to go. So yeah, whatever can happen right now, but at the moment it still looks nice. Okay guys, so this is the trade right now. It basically looks like a stop loss for now, but we're still in the game, we're still alive. So we will really need to see some rejection now. But yeah, let's basically see what happens. Okay guys, so this is how the trade is looking right now. We're very close for price to take us out. So yeah, there's nice rejections right now, which means that there's some buying power here, but I will need to see nice momentum to the upside now because we're really close to getting stopped out. So yeah, honestly, it doesn't look very promising at all. So if it's a stop loss, it's a stop loss, and that's it. But yeah, let's see if there's actually some momentum right now to the upside. So yeah. Okay guys, so we got stopped out for today. That's completely fine. Price literally played with us for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, a little bit over 30 minutes. And then it stopped us out. So that's basically it for today's trade and today's trading session. It was a nice trade following basically everything. We can see how price swept this floor here, and I was basically targeting yesterday's high. So yeah, price might want to take now yesterday's low, and yeah, that's basically what happened for today. But the trade idea was very nice. It just didn't work out very nicely. But yeah, it was a nice trade idea for a minus 3% in our 10K challenge account. So we're back at break even, so at 10K. So yeah, we're still going really good. Unfortunately, it was a trade that if I would have won, I would have passed phase 1, but still we're in break even, so we're still pretty good positioned. So let's see what happens for the rest of this week. Tomorrow, if we can see, tomorrow we have CPI, so it's very likely for tomorrow to be a no trading day. And Thursday we have PPI, so same thing, it's very likely that on Thursday there's also no trades. So that's basically all for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow to see if we can make some profit. Well. Before going to the next day, I wanted to show you what actually happened in this trade. So last update I showed you guys was when I got stopped out. It's currently 2 p.m. New York time, so basically 2:20 New York time. And this is basically what happened. My trade idea and my direction was literally perfect, but unfortunately I got stopped out. Let's see for how much. Let's zoom in. The zoom must be extremely big. You guys can see how small was the difference. So basically I got stopped out for 0.1 pips. Like literally, this is well, there's nothing basically to say. That's how trading is. Sometimes it's really frustrating, like this kind of trade. So yeah, so basically, as I told you guys, I was waiting for price to break this high here, and if it breaks this high, I'm moving my stop loss to break even. Well, if I would have been still in the trade, and then just wait for price to reach my final TP, which is here for a 122. I'm pretty confident it will reach that, which is basically yesterday's high, so Monday's high. But yeah, unfortunately I got stopped out for 0.1 pips, and I lost my 3% for today, which is basically my usual 1%. It was the perfect trade to pass both accounts, so the phase 1 of the 25k account and the phase 1 of the 10k account. But yeah, that's how probabilities work, guys. Like honestly, if I consider myself and I study my journal and everything, honestly I should have placed my stop loss a little bit lower. So usually what I do is first, or I put my stop loss, for example, in here, so below the last low or the low of my range, or usually I put it very close to the low, so around here. If I would have done that, it wasn't a stop loss for me, but I wanted to be a little bit tighter in this trade. It's fine, and I can't blame myself as well, because at the end it's just probabilities. Price could have just rejected from here, so from the 60%, and go up, but it decided to go all the way down to this area, filling this gap here and then rejecting to the upside. So yeah, these are things that I can't control and are just probabilistic distribution. That's it. So that was all for this trade. Honestly, I usually don't feel bad, or I don't feel like uncomfortable with the loss. I'm actually working a lot in that, and I've been improving a lot. But in this trade, I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bit attached, not only because if I won this trade, it was phase one, like in both accounts, phase one passed, but also because I lost this way. I would have preferred to just lose just by like a lot, like just, I don't know, entering into a trade that wasn't the correct direction or whatever. But losing in this type of trades actually hurt, and it's painful to watch, but that's trading, and it really doesn't matter if you have a correct risk management approach. So yeah, that was all for today trading session. Like I said, it's very likely that tomorrow there's no opportunities because of CPI, but we'll see. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome to Today in the Markets. Today is June 13th. It's currently 8:30 a.m. New York time, and PPI news just released. So if we can see, at 8:30 a.m. we had PPI, which are some high impact news. Not as strong as CPI, but they move a lot of the market, and we can see that they did. But there's actually something that I really like a nice scenario. So, just to let you know, I honestly didn't record anything yesterday because it was CPI, and usually I don't trade CPI. I consider them like some high impact news as the same level as NFP. And we can see what basically happened. So this was yesterday's New York session. You can see the whole momentum here, destroying every single thing, and then there wasn't any opportunities for us. So yeah, I didn't trade yesterday. I honestly kind of didn't watch the markets at all. But this is the whole movement of CPI and how this news destroyed the market. So that was basically the reason why I didn't trade yesterday and didn't record. But yeah, today is a new day. So the reason why I like this setup or this opportunity, maybe, of course, I need to wait for some confirmations, is because if we can see, price literally took liquidity from all these highs here. So let's go to the daily. We can see how the daily candle closed, right? We can see that price literally took liquidity. So from Friday's high, from Monday's high of the past week, this is also Wednesday's high. Basically from a lot of highs, and after taking liquidity from all these highs here, then it broke structure to the downside. We can see it in the 15-minute. This was the break of structure, right? And after breaking structure to the downside, we can see that price started going down. It left liquidity when it went down. So we can see this equal highs here. 3 equal highs, right? That price recently took liquidity in news. So I already grabbed this whole liquidity. And now I'm waiting for price to reach this fair value gap. It's a very nice fair value gap. We can see it in here, right? So it's a nice fair value gap here. So what I would like to see is for price to reach this fair value gap, give me a selling confirmation, something like this. Right, something similar to this, and then I will position myself into some selling opportunities, considering that price also, when it went down, right, so it went down here, it didn't reach a nice discounted area, like it reached the 50%, but there's still a lot of gaps here to be filled, and I would like maybe for price to reach a 60% discount if we want to consider some buying opportunities. So that's why I'm confident that price, like there's still some room for price to go down. So that's what I'm waiting. The second scenario that I'm waiting is maybe for price to keep going up, take liquidity from yesterday's high, which is this one, right? So do something like this, keep going up, and then give us some confirmation for us to take some sells. So this is basically what I'm looking at right now, and let's see what happens. Let's see if price reach our fair value gap and there's some selling opportunities for us. Okay guys, so quick update. It's currently 9:46 a.m. New York time. You can see it here. And there's literally no momentum at all, at least on AU. Like I said, I was expecting for price to reach this fair value gap, but we can see that it never did, and there's no liquidity. So at the moment, it's basically a no trading day for me. I'm just still waiting, but it's already a little bit late. I was maybe expecting to see if at 9:30, so at New York Open, if there was some kind of momentum to the upside. But yeah, nothing happened, and price is still consolidating around this area. So yeah, that's basically all for now, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a no trading day. But I'm still waiting to see if there's actually some momentum and price is able to reach this zone. Okay guys, so it's currently 10:50 a.m. New York time, and it's gonna be a no trading day for me. Unfortunately, price didn't reach my expected zone, which was around the 60%, so between the 60% and the 70%. So yeah, it's basically a no trading day. We can see that our direction and our bias was completely fine, and it was actually a very nice direction, but it didn't reach. We can see that, like I told you guys at the beginning, I was waiting for price to, let me erase this, I was waiting for price to reach this fair value gap in the 1 hour, right? It didn't. Like, it took this liquidity like I was expecting, but it didn't reach this fair value gap. I just realized that price rejected from a fair value gap in the 4 hour, that if we erase everything, this is the fair value gap in the 4 hour. So the trade was also valid, but mostly for traders that have a swing trading strategy. Because if, let's say, imagine that I would have placed my entry point here with my stop loss around this area, it would have been kind of like a 36 pips of stop loss, and I never take things that big. So yeah, for it to be a 122, I would have to target around this area here, which is a lot. So that's why I stayed away from the markets today, but the direction was valid, and that was a great analysis. So yeah, that was all for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow, last day of the week, to see if we can make some profit. There's literally no news for tomorrow, just one at 10 a.m. So we have basically the whole New York session for us to look for opportunities, and maybe if there's something after 10 a.m. as well. So yeah, that was all for today. See you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome to Day in the Markets. Today is June 14th, and I placed this buy limit in AU. So I really like this setup. It basically follows all my rules, my whole strategy. I'll tell you why. So we can see this low here. It was yesterday's low, so Thursday's low, right? And then price dropped a little bit more, and then it took Wednesday's low, which is this one. And when it took Wednesday's low, we have to understand that price is located in a daily demand zone. So we can see this is a daily demand zone, right? After breaking structure. I know the break of structure wasn't the cleanest one. That's why I'm still biased towards bearish structures. But if we see, for example, we can see that this high was the one that rejected from the fair value gap, right? And when it basically rejected, it broke structure in this area, right? That was the break of structure. But then we never had a big reversal towards a premium area. So we can see, instead of price reaching this area, or when it reached this, instead of reaching areas around this thing, in my opinion, it left kind of liquidity. We can see this liquidity here because it never reached some premium areas. So before price going lower, I would like to maybe see a reversal towards premium areas for sellers to position way better and start selling. So based on the fact that price took liquidity from yesterday's low, took liquidity from Wednesday's low, it's located in a demand zone. It also took liquidity from this low here, which was basically London's low, and then it broke structure to the upside. I have literally all my confirmations to place this buy limit here. Targeting, my target, it's not clear right now. I will honestly like to target around this area, right, for a 1 to 2.50, or depending on how price is rejecting, around this for a 1 to 3. So yeah, all my confirmations are in. I placed my buy limit. Let's see if my order gets activated or not. Okay guys, so quick update. So it's currently 10 a.m. and as we can see, it was a stop loss for today. Yeah, basically price kind of consolidated throughout this zone, indicating that there was actually some buying power. We can see it in the 5 minutes, but fortunately, yeah, price just didn't went into our favor, which basically means that two things: first, that maybe probabilities weren't in our favor, or second, that maybe our direction was wrong. I honestly believe that it was the first one, the reason why I lost, just because probabilities weren't there, because like I said, price was holding a daily demand zone. Then we can see that price in the 4-hour, we can see very clearly that price started dropping since Wednesday New York time. Then in the daily, we can see that price took liquidity from yesterday's low here, as well as from Wednesday's low, and then we broke structure in the 15-minute in this area. Then price gave a discount to the 60%, where I placed my entry point with my stop loss a little big, 10 pips, just because I didn't want to basically experience what happened on Tuesday again, and I was just more confident to place a bigger stop loss. Yeah, and we can see that price kept dropping, which means that it was a losing trade for a minus 3%. So yeah, that's basically it for today, and I'll see you guys next week to see if we can actually perform better, understanding that this week wasn't the best one at all. So see you guys. Okay guys, so that was all for this week. So as you guys can see, it wasn't the best week at all. So considering that I'm basically risking 3% per trade, this means that for this week I ended up with a minus 6%. If I would have traded as I do, so with my 1% risk as I always do, it was basically a minus 2% for the week. Considering that the past week we finished with 4% profit, this means that throughout June we're basically at plus 2% profit still, which is pretty nice. But let's now talk about this week. Basically this week I really don't think I made any mistakes. So for example, based on Tuesday, we can see that I literally got stopped out for 0.1 pips. So it was kind of a frustrating loss, but I can't get attached to that because at the end it's just loss, it's just probabilities. What I can honestly declare, or what I can honestly analyze, is that at the end I probably made a mistake with my positioning of my stop loss, based on the fact that if it was a whole bullish range, I should have placed my stop loss at least lower, or ideally below that last low, as I actually usually do. I was actually checking my journal, and most of my trades that go a little bit lower in drawdown and after that they work, it's because my stop loss was well positioned. So that's first thing that I should mention. Either way, there were high probabilities for price to reject in the 60% where I placed my entry point, and at the end price just went lower. So those are some things I can't control, but what I can control is improve on my execution. So as we can see, that was basically a winning trade that at the end I lost by 0.1 pips. Frustrating, I know, but that's all good. And basically the trade on Friday, maybe I was wrong in my direction, but still all my confirmations were located and were present in the markets. So we had that price took liquidity from Thursday's low, price took liquidity from Wednesday's low. We were located in a daily demand zone, and price did a whole discount, and it was dropping since Wednesday New York time. So at the end, everything was present in the market for me to take some buying opportunities. As you guys may know, most of my losing trades are on Friday, which honestly, if you guys can watch the last video I upload where I did the analysis on April and May, we can see that the worst performing day throughout this last 3 months has been definitely Friday. So still, I can't make any decisions right now because I don't have too much data, but I'll still recollect data throughout the year and see how Friday performs. At the end, if Friday is not profitable, it's better maybe to remove this day from my trading days, and that might increase my profitability in the long term. But still, there's not too much data to make those type of decisions, so I'll keep journaling my trades and see how it goes. But yeah, in simple words, and for a conclusion, it wasn't the best trading week for me, but that's completely fine. Probabilities didn't work this time, but let's see if next week we can perform way better and we have some great trades. So that was all for this week. See you guys the next one.